Howdy, partner. So you want to learn how to finish an outdoor kitchen? Well, you're in luck. We're going to show you today. Today, we're going to go ahead and finish this outdoor kitchen. This is part 3 in our multi-part series on building an outdoor kitchen. You know, we started off with the slab, and then we went ahead and made the basic outline and foundation of this. And now we're going to go ahead and finish the top, as well as paint the sides and make it look good. Our final segment of this project will be putting up a pergola. If you want to check out this whole series, please stop right now and hit that subscribe button. You can also check the channel for a lot of other content, but if you watch that subscribe button, you'll go ahead and be able to get all the other videos that we're uploading in the series. Any likes, comments, questions you have, please go ahead and put those in. I'll get right back to you. So getting back to this, we have a nice backyard here that's got a large pool and a hot tub and everything else. So we're going to do kind of a pool theme. I'll show you the tile in just a few minutes that we're going to lay on the top, but it's kind of a pool theme tile. And then we're going to go ahead and we're going to paint the whole house, and while we're doing that, we're going to paint this as well. So this stucco will blend naturally into the house. I made the finish about the same as the stucco here, so it's going to go ahead and flow, and then we're going to have the top that'll flow into the pool and hot tub. So stay tuned, and we'll get started in just a few. Okay, we just finished painting a couple days ago actually, and everything's all dried up. If you see, it's looking pretty good. We went ahead and painted the same color as the house. We just painted the house, and with the finish it kind of flows, especially once we're done with it. It's going to really look finished and look like it's built in. One of the things with this outdoor kitchen that I should point out again is you want to make sure you're taping off your slab or your pavers, wherever you're building it on, when you're applying the concrete or when you're painting it, just so that everything stays nice and clean. What we're going to do for the top is we're going to go ahead and apply a tile. Now we're going to go down about 6 inches on the side, and some people would say that you should have taped it off and not painted this. It really doesn't matter. I mean, you know, it'll stick better to raw concrete, but this will be fine too, and if you want to score it up, you can. So, depending on what you want to do to make your outdoor kitchen your own, you could finish this off with a nice granite slab or slate or anything else, depending on what the look is you want, or you could even stack stone if you want to do it that way. We're going to go with this cobalt blue pool tile actually, because we do have a pool back here and we want it to kind of fit in with the whole surroundings. So we're going to go down about 6 inches, and we're going to go ahead and wrap this entire top in this mosaic. To do that, we've got to get a few materials ready. One is going to be a glass tile thin set. You could use different types. I like the pre-mixed stuff, but this is good for exterior applications and water, and since it's going to be wet, this will be good. Again, if you want to save some money, you could use a different type of tile, maybe a more generic one with a bull nose or a square or different. It's all up to you. That's the great thing about this outdoor kitchen build, is you can customize it however you want. Then we're going to finish it with a grout from this Fusion Pro. Now this stuff is supposed to be the best. It's a little more expensive than normal grout, like 5 times more, but it's stain proof, seal proof, and it's got a micro band that's supposed to prevent mold and mildew. So for an outdoor application, it's supposed to be the best. It's also got hard colors that it will stick with the entire life. So we're going to do this with a nice white. It's really going to pop. And you can get it all laid out. I'm going to tape off a line to show how deep we want to go. And then we're going to get this started. So go ahead and come on back once we start actually laying the tile. Keep watching. So we've started the tile. What's important to remember is you want to definitely start on the outsides and work your way in. Think about where you're going to have people viewing your outdoor kitchen the most if you're doing tile, and make sure that those lines are going to be the straightest or the best, because if there's any sort of variation or any problem or mistake, or if your tiles come up short, you want that to be on the inside or in the back where everyone doesn't notice it. So we've gone ahead and laid out our tiles here around the edges. We put these 2 kind of silly pool type tiles to go along with the whole theme we're going with here. Now, I'm going to show you how to go ahead and lay a set, but before I do, let me just tell you, we went with these 1 by 1 inch square mosaic tiles that come on a sheet. If you want to cut them at all, you can just take a razor blade and cut the back to make the sheet smaller. One thing that's neat about these 1 inch tiles that I didn't even think about is it looks like we're going to be able to do this entire job without any tile cutting. Now, I don't mind cutting tile. I have a tile saw and splitters, nippers, everything. I'm comfortable with it. But if you're a novice and you want to have an easy job, then look for something that's, more of a smaller tile, because it lets you have more flexibility with what you're doing. So we've already got our concrete backer board on here. You're gonna go ahead and mix up your grout if you don't get the, your mortar, if you don't do the pre-mix stuff. And then you just wanna put it on here. If you get on the tiles, no big deal. We can go ahead and wipe that off with a sponge or a paper towel or anything else, fingers. And then the size of the grids that you're gonna do in your mastic is going to depend on what size tiles you have. These are very small, so we can do a very small sort of grid. But you just want to go ahead and make sure it's nice and even. You want to keep it off of the other tile, and if it gets on there again, you can just, while it's wet, wipe it off. But you want to make sure everything is covered. And there's no gaps or uneven spots. Don't work in areas that are too large. Stay kind of smaller and more manageable. There we go. Just going to go ahead and get that ready. And then you're going to take your tile piece. I'm going to wipe off some of that excess. And I'll get a paper towel in just a second. And you just want to go ahead and very carefully lay it down. You can use spacers for this, but really I prefer for this kind of job just to eyeball it a little bit. And you just want to try to get it as even as you can with the other tiles. And once you make sure that all your lines are even and everything is straight, then you can go ahead and come over it with either some sort of float or a press. Just make sure it's all square. And that's it. So we're going to finish up the rest of this top, and then we'll be ready for grouting. Thanks for tuning in. All right. Well, we're working on this grout now, and this Fusion Pro stuff, I'll tell you what, you got to work fast, especially on a hot day like this. But if you come around, I'll show you kind of where we're working now. So we're going to work on this inside wall. Again, you know, the inside walls of this aren't going to necessarily be seen, so they're not as critical. But what you want to do is you want to wet down the area you're going to work with. Cool it a little bit. You're going to take your grout, use a grout float, and you can look at the instructions for the Fusion Pro, but basically you want to scrub it into your grout lines. Depending on what size grout you have will determine how many grout lines you have. And then I'm going to have to clean up all that mess that's falling on the ground, because this stuff will dry to the ground, so you want to make sure you don't get too much mess on the ground. And then also you want to make sure you get a good seal towards the top. So kind of at an angle. What I'll show you is as you get this going, okay, so you're going to work a small area you can take care of in, you know, less than 5 minutes, because it dries very fast, especially if it's outside in the heat. So that's smaller I've been doing, but for the purpose of the video that'll work. You take a sponge and just in a light circular motion, you want to clean off some of that grout. Then take a secondary sponge and you want to kind of wipe it clean. And then you want to take a microfiber towel, and hopefully clean water, and you will just give it one last wipe. Little trick, if you have any haze at all, you can come back over and dry a little, and you can use a grout haze remover, but you can also use just a little magic eraser very lightly. Now some people are going to say, well, magic eraser will kind of sand it, but on a glass tile or something hard, you'll be okay, and it'll take off that haze. But you can't let it dry, because this stuff dries rock solid, it's going to be hard to get out. However, it is the best for outdoor use. Mildew resistant, doesn't need sealing, and it's supposed to be stain proof. So we'll see if it holds up to it. Thanks for tuning in. All right, well, it's all coming together. This was the finishing outdoor kitchen video. So we talked about painting the sides. We went ahead and did this tile top with these funny pool tiles here to give it the whole pool theme. And it's coming together. We slid the grill in. If you walk on around, you'll see that we went ahead and wrapped that tile all the way around, and the grill is a nice perfect fit, nice level there. So it's really coming together. The nice thing about doing a tile top like this is you can really personalize it to fit whichever you want, and whatever look, whatever budget you want, you can go ahead and do. So our next video is going to be building a pergola that we're going to put over this. It's going to go ahead and really finish off this outdoor kitchen and do a little landscaping and really pretty it up. So if you haven't already, hit that subscribe button, and that subscribe button you'll see when we put up the next videos, and you can go ahead and watch every step of this process on how to build an outdoor kitchen. So again, really appreciate you tuning in to Mr. Greg's How To. Remember, if I can do this, you can too. Anything you girls have to say about the outdoor kitchen? Are you liking it?
It's really pretty. It looks like diamonds. Thanks, Mr. Greg.
You're welcome. All right, looks like diamonds, they say. Thanks for tuning in. Hit that subscribe. Like, comment, subscribe.